Make America healthy again. Lawmakers are now targeting SNAP. They say that the USDA should prohibit junk food purchases with SNAP benefits. But some food lobbies are pushing back. This is according to reports, with Coke and Pepsi leading the way. That's where we go next with Congressman-elect from West Virginia, Riley Moore. Congressman, great to have you on the program. To me, it is a no-brainer. No junk food with taxpayer-funded money. What do you think?
Well, thank you so much for having me on. And absolutely, it's a no-brainer. There are currently 10,000 chemicals that are and ingredients allowed into our foods that are illegal in countries all over the world. And you see this where a box of, let's say, Fruit Loops here in the United States has all these different dyes and chemicals involved in it, that they make a version of that they export to markets such as Europe. But we are currently poisoning our own society, and it doesn't make any sense for us to allow people on SNAP benefits to purchase these types of items that are just going to make them more unhealthy, which, by the way, then we're going to end up paying for anyway, likely through the Medicaid process. So this just makes all the sense in the world to alleviate this and take this away and try to make America healthy again.
Congressman, thanks for joining us. I understand that you also want to increase the child tax credit, currently at $2,000, and expanding that to $5,000 to give parents everywhere some relief from the inflation we've all endured over the past several years. But I can't tell you how many daycare operators I've spoken with who tell me giving tax credits to parents is great, but it does nothing to help them as small businesses trying to keep their doors open in this country. What more can or should you be thinking about when it comes to childcare?
Well, that's a great example there. And I do have 3 young kids of my own, all of which that have gone through daycare, one currently in there. And I couldn't agree more that what we need, and I think President Trump absolutely agrees with this, and particularly Vice President-elect J.D. Vance, we need more pro-family policies put into place in this country. The tax credit certainly is just one little part of that. We want to have more pro-family policies in this country. That's certainly something that I'm going to be leaning forward on in Congress. But yes, look, daycare is wildly expensive, and it is also very difficult to operate in this country as a daycare facility, given all the costs incurred for them to be able to operate as well. So that is something that we need to take under consideration of how can we try to be more helpful to families here in this country that are trying their best, they're working, they'd like to grow their family. You know, we're trying to be a country that, as we said at the outset of all this, in the pursuit of happiness. Well, there's nothing that is going to make people more happy than being able to have a family and grow that family and be able to have disposable dollars to be able to support that family.
You know, I think it's fair to say you're kind of part of a new wave of lawmakers that represents where the Republican Party seems to be trending. But you've got some lawmakers on the other side of the aisle who are saying surprisingly aligned things with what you're saying. One of them is John Fetterman. Listen to this.
You have a singular political talent. It's undeniable. Trump. You know, he had the energy and almost a sense of fearlessness to just say all those kinds of things. And people, it's undeniable that it has an entertaining aspect. And I happen to love people that are going to vote for Trump, and they are not fascist. And also fascism, that's not a word that regular people, use.
You know, I don't think Fetterman's alone. I think he represents something on the traditionally Democratic side of America that's yearning for a middle ground that doesn't seem to exist in recent years. Is there more to the story than just John Fetterman sort of coming to the light here?
Well, look, there's a huge realignment going on right now, and that's been going on. It even predates, obviously, President Donald Trump. He was the first politician, and I would agree with this, that was able to capture that. I mean, he really spoke to the average American here. Look, the state of West Virginia up until 2014 was completely controlled, both chambers, House and Senate, by the Democrats for 83 years. Wow. right? We had total unified Democrat control till 2014. Now we voted for President Trump by over 70% here, him winning every county. And we've seen now Senator Joe Manchin now departing. There's a huge shift going on. And you were just on recently in your previous segment talking with members of the United Steelworkers. Well, the United Steelworkers is one of the unions that's actually supported me in my election because they have presence in my district. This is a totally different party than it was in the early 2000s. We are a party of the working class. I'm somebody who was part of that working class. I started my career off actually as a welder working in a mining operation. So this is a different kind of party, and I think it's going to continue to realign in that manner. John Fetterman sees that, Donald Trump sees that, and I couldn't agree more.
Well, we look forward to hearing from you as you take on your new job. Congressman-elect Riley Moore, thanks so much.
Thanks so much. Merry Christmas.
Merry
You too.
Christmas.
Merry Christmas.